The future of war has changed, and drones are leading the battle. The way wars are fought is changing before our eyes. The days of soldiers facing each other on the battlefield with rifles are becoming less common. Modern warfare is now being shaped by one powerful technology: drones. When the Russia to Ukraine war first began, much of the fighting took place in trenches. But over time, the conflict has evolved into a massive drone war. Surprisingly, Ukraine has managed to gain a significant advantage over Russia in this new style of combat. Now entering its fifth year, the war has become far less dependent on direct frontline battles. Instead, drones and missiles are playing a bigger role than ever before. This shift has created serious challenges for Russia and has changed the balance of the conflict. For many Russians, the war once felt distant. Today, that is no longer the case. Ukrainian drones are reaching deep inside Russian territory, targeting cities across the country, including the capital, Moscow. The battlefield is no longer limited to the front lines. As these attacks continue, many people are asking a difficult question: what happened to Russia's air defense system? Russia has been forced to deal with large-scale Ukrainian drone strikes that have damaged critical infrastructure. Ports have slowed down or temporarily stopped operating. Military bases, weapons storage facilities, and defense factories have all been hit by drone attacks. The impact doesn't stop there. Russia, one of the world's largest energy exporters, has also been forced to reduce fuel exports because of repeated attacks on its energy infrastructure. The damage has disrupted production and distribution, leading to fuel shortages in several parts of the country. In some areas, long lines have formed at gas stations, making it difficult for drivers to refuel without waiting for hours. The drone war has dramatically changed the battlefield. Ukraine has shown that modern technology can reshape military strategy, bringing the conflict closer to Russia's major cities, including Moscow, and changing the course of the war in ways few expected. Moscow is feeling the pressure, and the drone war is expanding. Even Moscow is now under increasing pressure. Ukrainian drones are flying hundreds, and in some cases over 1,000 kilometers beyond the front lines, striking deep inside Russian territory. Their targets include military facilities, critical infrastructure, and other strategic locations. As the war continues, both Russia and Ukraine are relying less on direct ground combat. Instead, missiles and drones have become the primary weapons shaping the battlefield, creating new challenges for both sides. Russia continues to launch missiles and drones against Ukraine. Ukraine, however, has fewer long-range missiles available. As a result, it has focused much of its effort on developing and producing combat drones, using them as a key part of its military strategy. One major advantage of drones is their cost. Compared to missiles, drones are significantly cheaper to produce. Reports suggest this is one of the main reasons Ukraine has invested heavily in drone manufacturing instead of relying primarily on missile production. According to Reuters, the war has dramatically accelerated Ukraine's drone industry. The country has rapidly improved its ability to design, build, and deploy advanced combat drones, transforming them into one of its most effective military tools. Today, Ukrainian drones are reaching targets across Russia, including Moscow. Some of these drones travel more than 1,000 kilometers before carrying out their missions, demonstrating an impressive level of range and capability. Another key advantage is that these drones are constantly evolving. Their performance is tested in real combat, allowing engineers to identify weaknesses, improve the designs, and introduce new technologies at an exceptional pace. As a result, Ukraine's combat drones have become battle-tested systems with proven capabilities on the modern battlefield. Ukraine has also received significant support from its European partners, helping the country expand drone production more quickly and on a much larger scale. This cooperation has played an important role in strengthening Ukraine's drone program as the conflict continues. Russia has defended its recent attack on a Ukrainian drone technology exhibition, saying it was a necessary response to technology that could potentially be used against Russia. In its statement, Russia reportedly said, We have taken appropriate action by striking an exhibition showcasing drone technology that could be used to attack us. And this will continue. But this statement has raised an important question. The drone technology exhibition was reportedly open to the public. Many people were visiting the event, and advertisements were even promoting it as a public exhibition. So critics are asking, if Russia is known to target Ukrainian military activities, why was an exhibition showcasing advanced drone technology allowed to take place openly? And why was it publicly advertised as an event that civilians could attend? These questions have sparked strong criticism from some observers. But there is another important side to this story. Ukrainian drones have become increasingly advanced through years of combat experience. And now, several countries are reportedly showing interest in buying Ukrainian drone technology. According to a Reuters report, the United States is among the countries that have expressed interest in purchasing Ukrainian drones. The report, citing sources familiar with the matter, said that Ukraine welcomed the American request with enthusiasm. And there is a reason why Ukrainian drones are attracting so much attention. Over the course of the war with Russia, Ukraine has continuously improved its drone technology. These systems have been tested in real combat conditions, and their effectiveness has attracted international attention. But despite the attention surrounding Ukrainian drones, there is one major reality that cannot be ignored. Russia and Ukraine are not equal in terms of overall national power. Russia is far larger in territory, population, economy, and military strength. Yet, as the war has continued, Ukraine has managed to put Russia under increasing pressure. When the war began, many analysts believed Russia would quickly overwhelm Ukraine. Some expected the conflict to last only days, or perhaps a few months. At the beginning of the war, Russia captured large areas of Ukrainian territory. But as the conflict continued, the Ukrainian military became more experienced and more capable. And gradually, Russia itself began facing serious challenges. Russia reportedly had to seek additional manpower, including support from North Korea, while also relying on foreign fighters recruited from other countries. But the battlefield has changed dramatically. In recent years, the war has moved beyond traditional frontline combat. It has increasingly become a battle of technology, especially drone technology. And this shift has created a major challenge for Russia. Ukraine's long-range drone attacks have increasingly targeted Russian oil facilities, refineries, ports, military bases, ammunition depots, drone manufacturing facilities, and other major infrastructure. Many of these targets are located deep inside Russian territory. In the past, Russia had a much stronger ability to detect and intercept Ukrainian drones. But Ukraine has continued to improve its drone technology throughout the war. And as Ukrainian drones have become more sophisticated, Russia has faced growing difficulties in defending against them. The result, Russia's vulnerability to long-range drone attacks appears to be increasing. In 2026, a number of major attacks have once again raised questions about the effectiveness of Russia's drone defense capabilities. One of the most closely watched developments has been Ukraine's ability to strike targets deep inside Russian territory, areas that were once considered extremely difficult to reach. According to a BBC report, a recent Ukrainian drone attack reportedly struck a major online retail distribution center in Russia. The attack was said to have taken place in the city of Tambov, around 295 miles, or 475 kilometers, southeast of Moscow. Reports said 7 people were killed and 25 others were injured. Russia, meanwhile, has continued to retaliate against Ukraine using both missiles and drones. And Ukraine has also suffered significant damage. After more than 4 years of war, reports suggest that the scale of destruction in 2026 has reached new levels. One of Ukraine's key strategies has been to target Russia's energy infrastructure. As Ukrainian attacks on Russian oil facilities have increased, Russia has faced growing pressure on its fuel production and supply chains. In some cases, disruptions have reportedly affected Russia's ability to export fuel. But the problem goes even deeper. Russia has also faced challenges meeting domestic fuel demand, with long queues reportedly appearing at some petrol stations. The situation has become even more complicated by wider global energy disruptions and international sanctions. Even though some restrictions on Russian energy exports have reportedly been eased under certain circumstances, damage to Russia's oil infrastructure has created additional pressure. Instead of simply exporting fuel, Russia is now facing questions about how effectively it can maintain its own domestic supply. For some analysts, this is another sign that Ukraine's drone campaign is creating serious challenges for Russia's ability to defend its critical infrastructure. And there is another reason why drones have become so important. War is extremely expensive. Russia has been using advanced missiles against Ukraine, weapons that can cost millions of pounds and require significant time and resources to produce. Ukraine, on the other hand, has a more limited missile capability. So instead, Ukraine has increasingly focused on drone technology. The strategy is simple: build relatively low-cost drones, deploy them in large numbers, and use them to strike high-value targets deep behind enemy lines. This allows Ukraine to put pressure on Russia without relying entirely on expensive missiles. And that may be one of the biggest lessons emerging from this war. The battlefield is changing. The future of warfare may not be decided only by the number of tanks, fighter jets, or missiles a country possesses. Increasingly, it may also depend on something much smaller, something cheaper, and something that can fly thousands of kilometers into enemy territory: the drone. And as the war between Russia and Ukraine continues, the battle for control of this technology may become just as important as the battle on the ground.